the best way to learn English. Anya harbored a silent, yearning dream within her heart. It was a vision of vast global connections, of understanding diverse cultures, and sharing her own unique perspective freely with the world. This aspiration burned brightly, a constant, quiet fire. Yet a significant barrier stood firmly in her path, a formidable wall that seemed almost impenetrable. Her English proficiency was severely limited, restricting her ability to engage fully with the broader world beyond her immediate surroundings, causing much frustration. She knew deep down that learning English was not merely an option, but an absolute necessity for fulfilling her grandest aspirations. The task, however, felt incredibly daunting, like climbing an insurmountable linguistic mountain, filled with unfamiliar terrain. Traditional classroom methods had always felt rigid, slow, and strangely ineffective for her. They emphasized grammar rules and rote memorization, which often stifled her natural curiosity and her innate desire to simply communicate genuinely with others. One quiet evening while browsing online forums, Anya stumbled upon an intriguing concept that shifted her entire perspective. It was a radical idea suggesting that the best way to learn English might be fundamentally different from what she had always been taught. The revelation was surprisingly simple yet profoundly impactful. True fluency wasn't just about accumulating vocabulary or mastering complex grammar tables. It was about actively engaging with the language, making it a living, breathing part of her daily existence. Her journey began by understanding a foundational principle: why you must listen. This was her very first crucial step. Acknowledging that ears were as vital as brains in the intricate process of language acquisition, perhaps even more so initially. Every single day, Anya immersed herself completely in a rich tapestry of English sounds. She listened to podcasts during her commute, watched movies with subtitles, and even sang along imperfectly to English songs, absorbing rhythms and intonations unconsciously. Her ears became her diligent first teachers, absorbing an incredible amount of information, processing subtle nuances, and filing away countless phrases and expressions. This passive yet highly attentive learning laid a crucial, robust foundation for everything else. A vast mental library of sounds and common phrases slowly began to form within her mind. She could recognize words, grasp the general context of conversations, but still a profound hesitation lingered within her, preventing her from speaking aloud. The next phase, she knew, would be far more challenging, yet undeniably essential for progress. It was the terrifying but absolutely necessary step of moving from passive absorption to active production, confronting her deep-seated fear head-on. This pivotal step involved initiating start talking at home. It felt incredibly awkward at first, even profoundly silly, to converse with herself in her quiet apartment, narrating mundane actions or describing her daily routine aloud in English. She stood before her mirror, practicing introductions, describing her clothes, and even arguing with imaginary characters, forcing her voice to find its English cadence. This was a safe, judgment-free space for her initial linguistic explorations to unfold. This initial solitary practice was absolutely vital for building foundational confidence. It allowed her to experiment with pronunciation, stumble over words, and correct herself without any external pressure or the embarrassing fear of public scrutiny. Anya's learning method slowly evolved into a more structured, personalized approach she termed her English study plan for talking. It wasn't just about isolated grammar drills anymore. It was entirely focused on active, meaningful production. She recorded her own voice using her phone, playing it back meticulously, often cringing at her own pronunciation, yet relentlessly identifying areas for improvement. This self-critique became a powerful tool for refinement and continuous growth. She tirelessly worked on her accent, imitating native speakers she admired from podcasts and films, striving for clarity and naturalness rather than perfection. Each session was a small incremental step towards her ultimate goal of fluent speech. Despite all her dedicated home practice, the biggest, most daunting hurdle remained: how to speak with people. The mere thought of engaging in a spontaneous conversation filled her with an overwhelming sense of dread and crippling anxiety. The fear of making glaring mistakes, of sounding foolish, or completely misunderstanding someone loomed incredibly large in her mind. She consciously avoided opportunities initially, her heart pounding at the mere thought of a simple, innocuous interaction. However, she knew with absolute certainty that she simply could not improve her spoken English without consistent, real-world interaction. The isolated practice, while helpful, could only take her so far on her challenging linguistic journey. A significant turning point finally arrived when she confronted the undeniable truth about why you should practice speaking externally. The rewards of real conversation far outweighed the temporary discomfort of potential errors and awkward pauses. She took a deep, fortifying breath and nervously joined an online language exchange group, her hands trembling slightly as she composed and sent her very first introductory message. It was a monumental step, a true leap of faith for her. Her first few conversations were predictably hesitant, filled with prolonged pauses, fumbled words, and moments of utter blankness. Yet she bravely persisted, reminding herself that every single attempt was a valuable lesson learned, not a failure. She learned how to talk in English, not by passively receiving information, but by actively engaging. She asked thoughtful questions, listened intently to the responses, and bravely ventured her own opinions, even if imperfectly phrased. Each and every interaction, no matter how brief or seemingly insignificant, was a small personal victory. These tiny triumphs slowly but surely chipped away at her self-doubt, gradually building her conversational stamina and her resilience. Anya discovered the incredible power of asking for clarification, of saying, "Could you please repeat that?" Or "What do you mean by?" These phrases became her lifelines, helping her navigate complex conversations and fill in comprehension gaps. She embraced the uncomfortable silence, not as a sign of failure, but as an opportunity to formulate her thoughts. She learned to pause, to breathe, and to gather her courage before attempting to articulate her responses clearly and concisely. Gradually, her initial trepidation began to recede, replaced by a growing sense of quiet confidence. She no longer shied away from using English in her daily life, actively seeking out opportunities to engage in genuine, meaningful dialogue. The initial struggle, once a source of immense frustration and self-consciousness, slowly transformed into a joyful process of continuous discovery. Each new word learned, each successfully navigated conversation, felt like a significant building block. Her daily mantra became, "How to improve your fluency." She understood that fluency wasn't about achieving absolute perfection in grammar or pronunciation. It was about smooth, natural, and effective communication, connecting ideas seamlessly. She focused intently on reducing her hesitation, on linking her thoughts more fluidly, and on expanding her active vocabulary through consistent, practical application in real-world contexts. Theory was always quickly followed by immediate practice. Anya started reading English books aloud to herself, not just silently, to practice the rhythm and flow of connected speech. This helped her internalize sentence structures and improve her overall intonation patterns dramatically over time. She also began shadowing native speakers, repeating their words and phrases almost simultaneously, which helped her mimic natural speech patterns and improve her articulation, making her sound much more authentic and less mechanical. Joining a local English-speaking club provided her with regular, structured opportunities to converse with diverse individuals, sharing stories and opinions without the pressure of a formal classroom setting, making learning enjoyable. These weekly meetings became an anchor in her learning journey, a consistent reminder of the progress she was making and the supportive community she had found. It reinforced her belief in the power of shared learning experiences. She learned to embrace her mistakes, viewing them not as failures but as invaluable learning opportunities, stepping stones on her path to mastery. This shift in mindset was incredibly liberating, allowing her to take more risks. Her confidence soared with each successful interaction, each time she managed to express a complex idea or engage in a witty exchange. The fear that once paralyzed her slowly dissipated into the background noise of her past. Anya's world, once limited by her linguistic constraints, began to expand exponentially. New opportunities emerged, new friendships blossomed, and a deeper understanding of global perspectives became effortlessly accessible to her. She discovered a new sense of self-assurance, a powerful realization that she possessed the ability to overcome significant challenges through sheer determination and unwavering, persistent effort in her daily linguistic endeavors. Her transformation was not just about speaking a new language. It was about transforming her entire outlook on life and her personal capabilities. She became a more confident, more connected, and more globally aware individual. The initial daunting task of learning English had evolved into an exciting lifelong journey of continuous growth and self-discovery. Every day brought new words, new phrases, and new chances to connect with fascinating people worldwide. She often reflected on the profound wisdom embedded in the simple phrase, "The best way to learn English." It was not a single magic bullet, but rather a holistic blend of dedicated listening, fearless speaking, and constant brave interaction. Her personal journey proved beyond any doubt that consistent effort and an unyielding willingness to practice speaking, even when it felt uncomfortable or awkward, truly unlocked the elusive secret to achieving genuine fluency. Anya now converses effortlessly, her voice clear and confident, sharing her stories and perspectives with people from all corners of the globe. Her dream of global connections had fully materialized, becoming her everyday reality. She often mentored new English learners, sharing her unique strategies and encouraging them to step outside their comfort zones. She emphasized the importance of self-talk and seeking out real-world conversational partners without hesitation. She always reminded them that every single word uttered, no matter how small or imperfect, was a significant step forward on their unique path to fluency. Consistency, she preached, was the ultimate key to unlocking potential. Her story became an inspiring testament to the power of perseverance and the profound impact of strategic, active language learning. She demonstrated that anyone could achieve their linguistic goals with the right mindset and dedicated practice. The once intimidating English language had become her ally, a powerful tool for self-expression and global engagement. It opened doors she never knew existed, enriching her life in countless unforeseen and wonderful ways daily. Anya's journey serves as a powerful reminder that learning a language is not just an academic pursuit. It is a transformative personal adventure, profoundly expanding one's world and fostering deeper human connections organically. She actively sought out cultural exchange programs, using her English skills to bridge divides and foster mutual understanding, proving the practical benefits of her relentless dedication to linguistic mastery over many years. Her ability to speak English fluently allowed her to travel more confidently, work with international teams, and consume a vast array of global media, expanding her horizons beyond anything she had ever imagined possible before. Every day she continues to learn, to grow, and to refine her skills, understanding that language acquisition is a lifelong process. Yet, the foundations she built were solid, ensuring sustained progress and enjoyment for her. Anya truly embodied the spirit of a fearless language learner, proving that dedication, coupled with the courage to speak, makes all the difference. Her path illuminates the optimal route for anyone aspiring to master English. Her story is a living proof that embracing discomfort and consistently engaging with the language transforms daunting challenges into exhilarating achievements. She encourages all aspiring learners to simply start speaking today. The journey was challenging, filled with moments of doubt and frustration, but the rewards were immeasurable, far exceeding her initial expectations. Her fluency opened up a universe of possibilities and new experiences. From a shy listener to a confident speaker, Anya's journey exemplifies the best way to learn English. It's a path paved with consistent effort, brave practice, and a willingness to simply engage with the world, one conversation at a time.